scouting report on Alabama's offense?
Of course, their offensive line is really, really good, really massive. Coached really well, didn't take a lot of bad steps. They recognize things. You can tell that they've seen a lot. So very good up front. Of course, the running backs, they're playing like 3 of them, 3 to 4. I think the freshman's the best one, not to short any of the other guys, but he's really explosive. Quarterback's very smart. Wide receivers can run. There's none of them that's kind of pushed to the forefront, but that doesn't mean that they're not great players, but just a solid offensive unit.
Do you have a confident defense after last week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's some things that we got to get better at. Of course, tackling that me and Coach Taggart talked about, and just being in the right gap. Sometimes we didn't have good gap responsibility, and when you play a team that you're probably a little bit better than, it doesn't show up all the time. But last week it did. The first play of the second half, we went outside the guard instead of inside the guard with the backer, and it ended up costing us 6. So we can't do that this week, or there'll be a lot of long runs. So we have to be gap sound, and we got to get 11 hats to the football and tackle really well.
I got to believe after the way you guys played against LSU in that first half last year that this group isn't going to be intimidated by it.
No, they're not going to be intimidated. I don't think the coaches are intimidated. We know that they're a really good football team, but one of our GAs said earlier in the week that this isn't about a challenge, it's about opportunity. So a lot of these guys that want to play on Sundays, this is a great opportunity for them to show that they can play on Sunday, because there's a lot of Sunday players on Alabama's team.
It can be easy to compare LSU to Alabama because both are number 1. You know, they were number 1 last year. Bama was number 1 today. I mean, what are the differences between those two?
I think the differences is they have a lot better quarterback than LSU had. LSU's quarterback was kind of a little erratic. Their offensive line wasn't as good as Alabama's either. The running backs, I guess last year LSU probably I'd give them the nod because they don't have a great back like they had last year at Alabama, but they've got some really good ones. And but very, very comparable. Alabama's got some better guys at certain spots than LSU had, though.
Andrew Jackson's obviously the anchor of your defense. What are some of the things that makes him so special at linebacker?
Well, he's physical, you know. He's a tough kid. He loves to play the game, and he always plays 100%. But Drew knows that he can get better at a lot of things, and he's got to make sure that he's got his gaps together before he runs and covers somebody else's. So we got a tall task, but our kids are looking forward to it, and the coaches are too, so we're jacked up.